Four-star edge Owen Wafle about to make his commitment with finalist Rutgers in his home state. Some Big Ten schools like Iowa and Michigan State along with Rutgers, Notre Dame and Vanderbilt as well. His dad played his college ball at Duke, and he's playing his high school ball right now at the Hun School in Princeton, New Jersey, just in his sophomore year. 2 more years left of high school. He's going to be in the class of 24, a four-star edge who could also move in and play the tackle position as well if he starts to grow in that frame a little bit more like his dad did back in the day. Let's bring him in for the commitment. Owen Wafle joining us from the Hun School. He's got his parents, his brothers, his teammates there. In your own time, in your own way, Owen, take your time and let us know where you're going to be going.
Yeah, I'd first just like to thank my teachers who helped me reach my goals in the classroom. I'd also like to thank my teammates for pushing me on the field and keeping my competitive edge sharp. I also like to thank Coach Smith, who put me in this position and gave me the opportunity to play here at the Hun School. Wouldn't be here without him. I also like to thank my family for keeping my head on straight through my entire life so far, and also during my recruiting process. But yeah, that being said, I'd like to announce I'm verbally committing to the admissions process at the University of Notre Dame.
Congratulations, Owen Wafle committing to Notre Dame. I saw the picture of you. You had the gold dome helmet on and that big gold boom box. I had an idea that Marcus Freeman might be able to get you. What put it over the top for you at Notre Dame?
It was honestly just building the connections with the coaches and learning more about the school. It's obviously a great academic school as well, and coming from a prep school such as Hun really put me over the edge with Notre Dame. Yeah, I just really enjoyed spending time with the coaches, getting to know all of them.
And of course, a coaching change at the top there with Marcus Freeman taking over for Brian Kelly, who went down to LSU. Where were you at in the process with Notre Dame when that change was made, and how did that affect your decision, if at all?
It's actually a little funny because we went up there in November to watch the Georgia Tech game, and Coach Kelly was still the coach there. But then a week later is when he decided to go down to LSU. And I honestly didn't hear from Notre Dame for a while after that. But then as the new coaching staff came in, they started to roll again. And since then, they just kept talking with me once a week. And it really just was a good experience.
I noticed, we talked to a lot of star athletes like yourself that make their commitments here on CBS Sports HQ. I noticed you chose your words differently than some. It's saying that you were verbally committing to the admissions process. How did you choose those words specifically?
Well, I honestly, I don't know how to answer that. I was just, since I guess I'm a class of 24,
mm-hmm.
it's a little different. I kind of had to say those words.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Very unique. Class of 24, you got a ways to go, but already a member of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Why do you believe so much in Marcus Freeman, and what do you think he can do as the head coach at Notre Dame?
Yeah, no, he just was one of those guys where you just want to listen to. And when I went up there, I believe in March, my dad and I sat down and talked with him for a long time, and we just believed in what he was saying. And yeah, no, I feel like the Notre Dame team is gonna be winning a national championship in the next couple of years.
I got to imagine some of your teammates there behind you might disagree with you, because I know you have a lot of talent on that team who might be going elsewhere to maybe play against you at the college level. But first things first, you got 2 more years left of your high school career. Enjoy that, and congratulations on deciding where you're going to college.
Thank you.
Owen Wafle going to Notre Dame, 4-star edge off to the Fighting Irish. And Notre Dame moves from 9th to 5th in the class of 24 recruiting rankings. Still very, very early. I mean, you see these schools in the top 5. They only have 2 or 3, in the case of Iowa, 1 commit at the 4 or 5-star level at this point. So still a ways to go, but Owen Wafle knows where he wants to play, and it's in South Bend, Indiana for Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame. All right, let's bring back in our expert, Brian Doan. It was interesting to hear what Owen said about the process and how Brian Kelly was the head coach when he went for that visit when they played Georgia Tech, and then Kelly was gone, and he didn't hear from Notre Dame for several weeks. That must tell you that, boy, he has a really strong opinion of Marcus Freeman and the new staff, that he circled back to them and ended up committing so early.
Yeah, I think it says that. And also, you know, when Marcus Freeman got the job and was putting his staff together, they really had to focus on some of the 22s and kind of get things set up for the 23s. But Notre Dame made their big push. They had been speaking with Owen since February, but they made their big push in March on St. Patrick's Day. Notre Dame will send out some offers to some high priority targets. And they did that with Owen. They sent it out, like I said, on March 17th, and 9 days later, he was on campus at Notre Dame. And since he had been there before and he knew Marcus Freeman, who was on staff already with Brian Kelly, made it kind of a little bit easier. But a ton of credit, you know, not only goes to Marcus Freeman for what he's doing, and Al Washington, who in the 23 class has just some unbelievable defensive linemen. And now in the 24 class, Owen Wafle is the second defensive lineman committed. And then the other guy, look at Al Golden, the defensive coordinator now. He began, you know, Al Golden went to Red Bank Catholic in New Jersey, and Owen began his high school career at Red Bank Catholic. They're from the same area. Al is from Colts Neck, which is kind of down by the Jersey Shore. Owen is from Middletown. And so there was that connection there too. And so you get Marcus Freeman, you get Al Golden, you get Al Washington, and then you get the Notre Dame education and the alumni pipeline, and you know, the whole 40-year versus 4-year decision. It kind of became a pretty easy decision for Owen.
Owen Wafle is going from New Jersey to South Bend, Indiana to play for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in a couple of years. Still has a couple of years left of high school, but the class of 24, he is headed that way. Brian Doan covers all the best recruits out there in the Northeast for us at 24/7 Sports. We've got you wall-to-wall, coast-to-coast, recruiting rankings, transfer portal updates. It's your team all the time, and a ton of live exclusive commitments here via 24/7 Sports on CBS Sports HQ.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.